Welcome to Bible Art Journaling with Michelle Hotchkiss. Today I am Bible Art Journaling in Matthew 2, verse 2. And the first thing I did was prep my page with Tri-Arts Clear Gesso, and then I'm going to be using these different inks. These are Dr. P.H. Martin Bombay India inks. Here I'm taking just a little bit of clean water and I'm putting it in the margin of my Bible, only in the places where I want the ink to flow. Now I'm just dropping some of the India inks on the wet part of the Bible page in the margin, and I'm using my paintbrush just to move those inks around. One of the great things about these Dr. P.H. Martin India inks is that they are very vibrant, but they are transparent. So if you accidentally go over the text, you'll still be able to read the text through the inks. Here I'm just sprinkling some normal table salt all over the ink, and while the ink is still damp, and what that is going to do, it's going to create little starburst effects once the ink has dried. Now the ink is dried and you can see the starburst effect after rubbing off the salt. Here I'm using my white Jelly Roll pen and I am starting to do an outline of the Star of Bethlehem. As you can see, the star isn't showing up that well on the background, so I'm taking a Pitt multi-liner pen and I'm just going to go around the outline of the star. Now I'm taking my Pitt artist brush pen and a dry paintbrush, no water at all, and I'm going to go around the star and just create some background color to give it some more definition and help that star stand out from the background a little bit more. And all I do is I take that Pitt ink pen, that Pitt brush pen, I put a little bit of ink down, and then I take my paintbrush, which again is totally dry, no water at all, and I just feather out the edges of the Pitt ink pen that I have laid down. Here I have my Jelly Roll pen again, and I'm just enhancing those little stars that were made by the table salt. Here I'm using a white Prismacolor colored pencil, and I'm just going to make diffused, soft-looking rays coming out from the star. The colored pencil is a much softer look than ink pen, so it gives just a softer, nice glow to the star that you can't get with pens. And now I'm actually taking some acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, because I wasn't really happy with my star. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint in over that star, and then I'm going back with a colored pencil and making some new rays coming out from it, because I have made the star larger now. And now I'm going back in with a Pitt brush pen and the dry paintbrush just to outline that star again so it has more dimension and stands out from the background sky a little bit more. So lay down that ink with your Pitt brush pen and then take your paintbrush and just smooth that ink out. And there I just had a Faber-Castell Pitt big brush white pen, and that's an opaque pen, and that just helps smooth out the whole look of the star after I painted it. And then going back in with some more white colored pencil and the Pitt brush pens, and here, and also doing just a little bit of outlining with a very thin black ink pen, just to give some more definition to that star. And then I'm just using my paintbrush to actually smooth that out a little bit. Now some more colored pencil to really bring out and create some of those rays that come out of the star. Here I am just hand drawing a wise man on a camel, and I'm doing this in pencil, and then I will be coloring it in with a black artist brush pen. And you'll see me go back and forth a little bit with some colored pencils kind of outlining that camel, and then also towards the end I'll be using my white Jelly Roll pen to actually outline all around that camel. That'll give it a nice separation from the background. Now, as you can see, because I have gesso and inks, the India inks on this page, there's absolutely no bleed through to the back, which is really nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead in the narration and just tell you that how I did some splatters that you're going to see here in just a moment. I just took some acrylic ink. This is FW acrylic ink in red and yellow, and I got a wet paintbrush, just some water on it, and then I just dropped some of the ink right onto the paintbrush. Then I took that saturated paintbrush and I simply just knocked that paintbrush against a colored pencil, and of course I had the part of my pages that I did not want splattered protected with a piece of plastic that you kind of see there. And just did that with the red and the yellow inks, and that made some really nice splatters that help give a more colorful starry background. For the final step that you'll be seeing in a little bit, I used some golden interference paint, which is just basically a mica shimmery kind of iridescent paint, and I just went over the star and the rays just to give it some nice glowing shimmery colors to that star. I added my lettering at the bottom, and then I'm all done. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and it blesses you, and thank you so much for watching. You can see my social media addresses at the very end of the video, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the narration now and let you listen to some music. God bless and have a wonderful Christmas season.